Hello. Excuse me. Hello. Here I am, Karol V. Brown, going live for you today. And I hope that you are enjoying your day. Let me get this ready here. Okay. So if you haven't joined me before now, I am coming on every day, this time of day at noon Pacific time, 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and just for 15 minutes sharing a chapter from my book. The book is The Harriet Tubman Way, an inspirational guide to self-love, empowerment, and legendary leadership for girls. And this book is all about teaching self-love, not just to the girls, but anyone who reads it, because it's valuable for everybody. So I am here for 15 minutes, live on YouTube. You can chat with me. I hope to see the chat. I may be blocked by my script, but if you chat, I'm going to look for it. We are on chapter 3 of the book. So let me get started and then I'll see if we have anyone that wants to discuss anything. Chapter 3. Accept the person you are. What I will say is that what I have learned for myself is that I don't have to be anybody else, and that myself is good enough, and that when I am being true to that self, then I can avail myself to extraordinary things. You have to allow for the impossible to be possible. That quote is from Lupita Nyong'o.
Lupita Amandi Nyong'o is an actress who has received various accolades.
I got my phone trying to get me listening to trying to give me some information here. Okay, sorry. I take care of my people. That's the name of the story from Harriet. And for those who don't know, my book is written. I am the author of this book, and I write it as if you were hearing the stories from Harriet herself, as I portrayed Harriet for over 25 years. And I know her stories. And so I wrote them as close to how I tell them. And so when I get to reading, sometimes I sort of get back into actually telling the stories, and the words may be just a little bit different. Like in the storytelling, I'm using the word folks. In the book, sometimes it's people, go back and forth, but you get the idea. So let's talk about this first story. I take care of my people. 500 miles from Maryland to Canada was a long trip. But when they passed that fugitive slave law, the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850, I wouldn't trust Uncle Sam with my people no longer. I wouldn't take a chance of nobody that came up north to freedom with me would be sent back. I took my folks where I knew they was going to be free and stay free. So I had to take them clear up to Canada. That's right. Ooh, life was hard in Canada. I was responsible for all these people I brought up to the coldest place on earth. That's what my mama called St. Catharines, Ontario. Nothing would grow in the winter, and the winters were long. Folks were close to starving and freezing. I did all I could to keep clothes on people's backs and shoes on their feet. I was out begging for money and food from any group that would help us. I didn't mind asking for help for folks that needed help. Some of my friends said, Harriet, you's always asking for help for somebody else. What about you? What can I do for you? I said, the Lord takes care of me, but I need money to do His work, and that is to take care of my people. I knew I had to find a way to make Mama more comfortable, and I prayed about it, and after a year, I was able to move my mama, daddy, and a couple of more people to my own house in Auburn, New York. Old Mama still complained, but not about being in the coldest place on earth. Both my mama and daddy lived to be in their 80s. I guess my training in the Army as a nurse was part of the Lord preparing me for caring for people all of my life. Back in the war, I worked in the hospital, and I did everything I could do to help them poor souls. My day started early. I go to the hospital and get me a chunk of ice in a basin and fill it up with water. I go to the first man. Ooh, flies be thick as bees in a hive all around him. I wash away the flies and bathe off his wounds. I talk and pray with the soldier, and then move on to the next one. By the time my ice melted, my water was red as blood. I get another chunk and start over again. I did this all day. The Lord gave me the gift of service, and I'm glad I could do as He wanted me to do, take care of my people. I knew I had to find a way to make Mama more comfortable. And I prayed about it. After a year in Canada, I was able to, sorry, I just got messed up. Went back to the first other chapter. Sorry about that. That was the end of the story. This is the lessons from accept the people you are. Accept the person you are. Be humble and willing to serve others. Harriet Tubman was a very humble person. She found no shame in being who she was and doing the work she did. Humility is different from humiliation, which is shame and embarrassment. Being humble is feeling or showing respect and admiration towards other people. Being humble also means giving service and taking responsibility for others' needs and comforts before your own. It is a demonstration of being of higher rather than a lower level of character. There is greatness, not weakness, in humility. Activities. Each chapter has discussion questions, and this is the discussion questions for this chapter. First, I want you to know that Lupita Nyong'o is a Kenyan-Mexican actress and producer. She was born on March 1st, 1983 in Mexico City, Mexico. Discussion question 1 is a challenge for you to name 2 of Lupita's movies. That should be easy. Number 2, I want you to know that Lupita Nyong'o is known not only for her acting talents, but also for her advocacy work in promoting diversity and inclusion in the entertainment industry. What is diversity and inclusion? Number 3, do you think being of service is being humble or humiliated? They're journaling prompts. I want you to take some time to write and think about these questions. 1, how does being of service to others show greatness? 2, are there people that you can name who are examples of being humble servants that you admire? I want you to take time to write a little story, a short story about a humble person, a servant leader that you admire. That is the chapter number 3. And I want you to remember that this book is written at a very easy reading level for young people to be able to read. And so when I'm asking the questions, I'm putting out these questions for those people to think about. And it takes some adults to go through the book with young people, the young girls and the boys, and actually getting that discussion going. Right now, the question is so appropriate. What is inclusion and diversity? Isn't that something that's in the news today? Do our children really know what that discussion is about? This gives you an opportunity to use this book and this chapter and my other chapters that I've added, that I've recorded so far, and bring those discussions where they can understand better what's going on in their world today. So you see, even though I talk about Harriet Tubman, who left a legacy of love, she passed away on March 10th in 1913. And that's why we celebrate March 10th as Harriet Tubman Day. So mark that on your calendar. March 10th is a Monday, and I am on my TV program on Bold Brave TV every Monday nights. It's the Harriet Tubman Way, Love in Actions. And I'm on at 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, that's right, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's a live program where you can call in or get on comments and chat. And on the 10th, we will be talking about chapter 2. And when you come on, you will have opportunity to have read these chapters or listened to me on these chapters before Monday. So you should be ready when I give out the questions. Send me your comments. Let me hear from you. That's what this is all about. And do bring the girls. This is so important for our girls to get these messages. So I thank you for being with me. I'm looking to see if I see any chat. I don't see any chats. So I'm going to close out. This is a 15-minute presentation. And I hope that you will join me. And I will also put in the comments for this, I did make a nice little free ebook to accommodate, to go along with these readings of the chapters. It's special for Women's History Month, which is what I'm celebrating as I'm reading every day this month. It's an ebook, and on the cover are pictures of all the women who I quote in this book. So you can look ahead and see who's coming up and be ready again to listen to the story. So the ebook does not have the story. It has the quote from the lady and it has the discussion questions at the end of the story. So come here and listen to me share the story. And you'll be ready to discuss it on Mondays or any days that you want to discuss with others, or send me a comment or a text on my website, which is my name, www.KarolV for Vanessa, Brown, BROWN.com. That's Carol with the K, Vanessa V. Brown. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.